Gino's east of Chicago. The deep dish pizza not only lived up to, but exceeded the hype. But my stomach wasn't big enough to keep up with everything I wanted to try.
The Chicago decor brought me right back to my roots. The salt content brought me back to Acid Reflux Boulevard.
They made a proprietary Giardiniera Ranch that was out of this world, but the owner was too interested in the fact that we were Chicago boys. In an America where the discourse over pizza-style preferences can be less than civil, deep dish is perhaps the most polarizing way one can prefer their za. Is deep dish better than New York-style pizza? Is Gino's east of Chicago even the best representative of deep dish pizza? Let's find out together. This is the Fine Dining Podcast.
Your table is ready, take a seat. The flavor of the day is mediocrity. Wouldn't you like to try a bite? Guarantee it'll be the perfect bite. Fine dining, better than you thought, worse than you hoped. Fine dining, we don't treat mediocre as a joke. Ranking every single place we've been, compared to the perfect 5 out of 10.
Hello, and welcome back to Fine Dining, the quest to compare all restaurants to Chili's. I am your host, Michael Ornelas, and this is the show where I'm using the Chili's test to determine if other restaurants are good or not good by comparison. Why Chili's? Because of all the restaurants I've covered on Fine Dining, they're the only one to score exactly 5.00 out of 10. They're not just the bar, they're the grill and bar. And by the end of this episode, we will be able to answer a question that dates back to prehistoric cave paintings. Is Gino's east of Chicago better than Chili's? You tell me in the comments what you think. We're going to break down our lunch there today into what was good about it, what was not good, and what was just there before we give Gino's a score at the end of the episode. Joining me today to discuss Gino's east of Chicago once again is improviser, comedian, Dropout personality, and what it would be like if the president's speech from Independence Day were an actual person. It's Jacquis Neal.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it.
How you doing?
What's up, brother?
I was really holding back acid reflux.
Yeah.
During that little
During
read right
that
there.
read, yeah.
It's hitting me too.
It's hitting you. Yo, listen, man, let me tell you something. I love Chicago food. Love it, love it, love it. I'm from Chicago. I'll have it all the time, every day if I could. Can't wait to go to the bathroom. Can't wait. I gotta go make room for this food that's trying to hit my stomach.
Well,
right
the
now.
bathroom is all around you when you're in the Fine Dining
Yes.
studio, so make of it what you will.
Yes.
All right, well, we're just going to jump right into it. Let's talk about all the things about Gino's east of Chicago that was good.
This is the good, done like it should be. The stuff that's finger licking, a stick in the landing. This is the good, I knew that you could. This is the good.
First thing I'll say, let me just say this right off the bat in case anybody was wondering and wants to know, the cocaine was great.
It
great.
was very Chicago
It was
based.
very
I could tell.
Chicago-based cocaine,
Yeah.
you know? They give you that as soon as you walk in the door.
Got a little windy city in there, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
A lot of blow. Get it?
I get it.
I was proud of that.
That was a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I will say, walking in felt stylistically appropriate to what I expect from a Chicago place.
Yeah.
You got a lot of brick, which I associate with Chicago, mostly because my mom is obsessed with Chicago brick.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
even if that's not an actual thing people talk about, that's a thing that I've heard enough to
But you see
associate
it
it with
a lot.
it.
You see the brick. Yeah. Like there are certain things that I can see a picture and be like, that's Chicago. And it won't be anything like that's actually, you know, like that has a sign or anything that shows specifically, just like the structure of the buildings.
Well, it's, you know,
back porch, like wooden patios. Like I can see it.
When your whole city burns down once, you might want to rebuild with something less flammable. So,
absolutely.
You know, it does feel appropriate.
It also was interesting walking in too, because, you know, you say it felt very Chicago, but we did also walk in at 11:30 in the morning. So it was dead. I think we were the first two people seated.
They open at 11:30.
They open at 11:30.
First customers of the day.
First customers of the day. So I wonder what it would feel like for you to even walk in, say for instance, at like a 5 o'clock or on a Cubs game day or something where like there are going to be other Chicago people in there, some Chicago sports on the TV and stuff like that.
I'm going to say this. I know in the last episode, we were talking a lot about how we both associate dining experiences with being social.
Mm-hmm.
I will specify that I want my meals to be social with the people I'm there with.
Yeah.
I don't dislike meeting strangers and stuff, but I don't hate an empty restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like if I go to a restaurant, I don't need to talk to other people at the tables.
Yeah.
But there is something bustling about the energy of a full Chicago bar restaurant. Yeah.
Unless it's one of those things where it's like a sad empty, where it's like, oh, it's not empty because they're not good.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, they're empty because I'm the first person here and who's coming,
who's coming to eat
11:30 on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vibes were great. There's big display cases of Chicago sports decor. There's an entire row of hats of like the championship hat for like Chicago's Cubs winning the World Series, for a bunch of the Bulls victories and stuff like that. They have like the official caps of those milestones. I've got my 2016 Cubs one still. It's fully sweat stained now. It's gross, but
I love it. Never clean it.
Never
clean it. Look, man, being from Chicago, born and raised, there is something very nice about going into a Chicago place and it feeling like home.
Yeah.
The only thing that takes you out of it is you look outside and be like, oh, we're just in Sherman
palm
Oaks.
trees.
Yeah. But like, there
which
is
isn't a bad thing. It's just a different thing.
It's just different.
Yeah.
It's different. So being inside of the place, because that's the fun thing. You would think, oh, going to a Chicago place is going to have a bunch of Chicago decor because they want you to feel like
you're there.
You're at home.
Yeah.
But if you go to Chicago and you go in Chicago places, they are also full of Chicago decor.
Yes. So it's like places in Chicago love Chicago enough that this now doesn't feel put on.
Yeah.
They had a full room that was closed off, like a separate dining area that it's just like, we're the only people in there. They're not going to open both dining room areas, right?
Right.
But on the wall in there, they had posters for movies that were Chicago-based. They had Breakfast Club. They had Ferris Bueller's Day Off. They had a couple others that I'm not fully remembering what they were off the top of my head.
Gail Sayers' movie about Gail Sayers, who was a Chicago Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, though.
And then a bunch of sports stuff. And it was like signed, there's a Sammy Sosa bobblehead. There's, it's very Chicago. And like Chicago is very sports forward in terms of So I loved it.
Yeah.
I really loved it. Very sleek restaurant on the inside. So and then the music. We're going yacht rock and like there was like a Purple Rain cover.
Which is weird, but
which is weird and not the same and not as good, but didn't hate it.
Yeah.
They made it their own.
Yeah. I told you, we talked about this like while sitting down. It's very interesting, like outsiders' views of Chicago. Like I have trouble watching most things that are set in Chicago because they are so inauthentically not Chicago.
Yeah. Like
The Bear, can't fucking do it. Like the fact that people like are so, oh, The Bear, that must be what parts of Chicago are like. It's not. It was the most Chicago that I love? South Side, which is very funny. And I grew up on the South Side. That's a very funny show. But I think Chicago as a like pop culture forward city really took hold in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so because of that, when people are going to like Chicago places, you get a lot of the 80s yacht rock and like the 80s music and stuff, because that's when like Chicago really got put on the map with, the Super Bowl, the Bears and like the SNL skits and all the fucking John Hughes movies that were set in the Chicagoland area and stuff like that. So it's a very interesting time frame.
I do think Ferris Bueller's Day Off hits the vision of Chicago that I have as far as like Chicago media goes.
Yeah 100%.
Yeah
100%. But if you talk to people from Chicago, they'll tell you a much different Chicago.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's something that you thought was good about the experience? I mean, look, there's going to be a lot in this category. Most of our discussion is going to be here.
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting because, like I said, like to me, it just feels like coming home. So I always enjoy like going to a place and seeing like old newspaper clippings on the wall from like the Chicago Tribune or the Chicago Sun-Times and things like that. So like walking past like some of those newspaper clippings are always like so fun for me to see.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like, the era that I grew up in. Because I'm so old, we still had newspapers when I was around.
People still knew how to read back then.
We knew how to read back then.
Yeah.
So that is fun. I just enjoy like the brick, the kind of overcrowded. And by overcrowded, I mean like there's just so much stuff on the walls.
Yeah. It's gaudy a little bit.
It's gaudy. And I like really enjoy that because it is unique in a way where it's like, yeah, man, this isn't fine dining.
All Chicago. This is fine dining.
This is fine dining.
Fine dining. Better than you thought, worse than you hoped.
All Chicago decor is kind of like, oh, this person's a hoarder.
Yeah.
All Chicago decor.
Mhm.
Every single display, every desk you find in Chicago, bobbleheads and, stuff like that. It's a lot, but there's a lot of fun little tchotchkes.
There's a lot of fun little, and then like there are certain things that like are associated with Chicago, like the Chicago flag.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know, you still probably recognize the 4 stars from the Chicago flag, or the Chicago in cursive from our sports teams, or all the logo. The Bulls logo is still the most recognizable logo and the only logo that has never changed in the NBA.
Is that
since
true?
It's been introduced.
Huh.
Yeah. So like there are things that like you see from Chicago that have just been in our lives, whether you're from Chicago or you just know of it.
Yeah.
That have never changed throughout the decades, which is pretty dope.
Serious by the Alan Parsons Project has not changed.
No.
Yeah. That song, if you listen to it, hasn't been remixed yet.
That's great. And they still use it to intro the Bulls.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't been to honestly, the last Bulls game I've went to, Michael Jordan was still playing. I was like a child.
That's funny. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the last time we were, good.
All right. I'm going to say I had a mixed opinion of the service. So I'm going to talk about some of it here, some of it in another section. Our server, very knowledgeable, very forthcoming with recommendations, very pleasant. I loved interacting with her. I thought that she was a really good server from the social standpoint of the service job.
Yeah. I thought she was fine.
Yeah.
I don't need much from servers. And it also can very much depend on like just where I'm at that day.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm 100% okay with just like a very to the point, like, what do you want? Daddy, as long as I'm not wondering where you are or if I need something, you're coming by relatively quickly or anything like that, I'm okay. With that said, like she was very nice, to my knowledge. I think she is, because I've been to that Gino's East before, she's the only woman that works there, which I'm sure is not easy to be in a restaurant with all men as well. And you are the only waitress that identifies as a woman. So she's like very, very nice. Had a Chicago feel to her to me as well. I thought she was fine. She was fine.
I'm not even going to go so far as to put it in a different category. My one issue, and this is not just her, this is
just in general.
This is across so many restaurants.
Yeah.
The wait that bothers me the most is when from the point of the check drop to picking up a card, when that takes like 10 to 15 minutes, I'm always like, there is no other step. You know that all there is putting a card. It's such a quick thing. I'm just like, I want like 2 minutes from the point of like check drop to pick up. And it's not like they were busy.
No.
So that
I'm with you on that.
That I felt was a little long, but like everything else, came across at a pace where like I never needed anything that I didn't get.
Yeah, and our food came out quick. I'm sure we'll talk about that. And it came out quick for a specific reason. Yeah, I'm with you on it. Like a lot of times I'll just, as soon as the check is coming, I'll just have my card be like, just take the card.
Yeah.
Like and
it's because I've been burned so many times on the long check drop where it's just like, I may not see you for 15 minutes. Just, can we do this?
Yeah. Now, if it's, if we need to actually look at the receipt for any reason or make sure the items are correct or anything.
Yeah.
Then maybe,
or do a bunch of math
a bunch of math and shit, then you need it. And I'm sure like I've never worked in food industry, so somebody who has could probably speak to this. I'm sure like you're kind of trained to be somewhere in the middle. Like some people need it quick and some people do take fucking forever. Before they even open the check, let alone like put the card in and are ready for it to be paid. So you kind of find yourself somewhere in the middle. But like you said, it was only like by the time we left, there were only like 2 other parties there. So it was pretty quick. Like, it could have been pretty quick. And they just bring the little card machine over to you now.
It was like, this doesn't need to take a while. And it took a little longer than, it wasn't like crazy. I wasn't.
I didn't even notice because I went to the bathroom during that time. So my time part on that was like skewed. You said we'll talk about why the food came out quicker I mean, okay, so like the thing that everybody fucking knows about deep dish is it takes long to come out. 40 it's baked, so it takes like 40. They have to make it and then put it in the oven and everything like that. So it generally takes 40 to 50 minutes for it to come out to you, which is just something is going to happen when you go to a deep dish place. You need to be at peace
with it when you walk into a deep dish place, because if not, you're going to be like, what is taking so long?
And that's why you order appetizers, you order drinks. You just know like these 40 minutes is going to be biting on small foods if you are so hungry that you can't wait that long.
And hanging out with your
homies. The reason it was quick is because we ordered the minis,
the personal pizzas, which like they weren't tiny.
They weren't tiny. They filled me up. But those came out. I was still thinking they would take like 20, 25 minutes. They were out in like 15 minutes or less. And I was like, but when they came out, I was like, oh shit.
The benefits of being the first person in.
That too.
They've probably already prepped a crust at the very least.
They had already had a few crusts prepped. So all they had to do is just put the shit in there, throw it in the oven. It doesn't take as long to cook that small pizza. And they probably, because it's a happy hour special, they may, and this is kind of why my rating was slightly lower for today. I think they probably have some pre-made already, because it did not have as fresh of taste as I'm used to.
Interesting.
From Gino's East. And I think it was because it's a happy hour special that's only from 11 to 3. We got the lunch hour special, which is a mini pizza, one side, and a pop. They call it pop.
I did notice that.
I love that.
I do not. Pop has always been nails on a chalkboard to me.
My mom's side.
I know. And my mom's side of the family still calls it pop, and it's just like, I don't know why, but it's always been nails on a chalkboard to me.
Prefer New York pizza? You say soda? Man, give me your Chicago card.
No,
give it back.
I keep it in a vault. You're gonna have to Ocean's 11 this thing away from me.
So yeah, I do think like that they were probably, it's still very good food. But like I did have a like inkling that this was pre-made. As far as like ready to go, pre-assembled, just ready to pop in.
It may have been.
Pop out.
Yeah. And especially with the quick turnaround. I don't mind that if I don't taste it, but I also had no baseline to compare to.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked this pizza.
You loved it.
I loved this pizza.
Especially as somebody who flips tables over when cheese is brought out to you.
I was yelling. I was like, you serve what here?
You serve what? Deep dish cheese pizza.
Can I talk to your manager? Sorry, your manager.
Your manager.
In quotes. You got just cheese. I got the Meaty Legend, which is one of their full-size pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically told me, there's so much meat in the Meaty Legend that our personal size pizzas can't handle the weight. So you need to remove one meat. So it's like, it's less of a meaty legend and more like, it's a meaty
icon. It's a meaty icon.
Yeah.
Although I feel like, so not to jump in on what you got, the one meat you took away
was Canadian
would be
bacon.
The one meat that you probably don't need.
Canadian bacon.
Yeah, because it still had regular bacon.
It had regular bacon, it had sausage, and it had pepperoni. Now, I will say, I don't think in the lunch size special, I don't think it had the sausage patty.
I didn't know, but so it didn't.
It didn't seem like it
probably
did.
Don't have patties.
And I think that worked to its benefit.
Probably.
Now, I'm going to say this. The layer of cheese was not much more than what is on a standard pizza. Usually one of the things about deep dish that bothers me is the placement of the cheese. I like the cheese on top because it's the furthest thing from my tongue, which is doing the tasting, right? But this crust was so good. The sauce was so heavy. I mean, that's just a staple of deep dish, right?
Yeah.
Is the very thick sauce. And the meat was tasty enough that it kind of, any cheese disdain I had going into this completely masked it.
Oh, cool.
The crust was so incredible.
That's good.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, fuck yeah.
For this pizza.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
I like because I'm just like, what notes would I have on it?
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. Now, here's the thing. 10 out of 10, even in and of itself, is a scale. Is this the best pizza I've ever had? No. There are other pizzas I would give a 10 out of 10 that rank better than this. But like, this was no notes.
Yeah. From everything encompassed together. Yeah. Gino's is good, man. I would probably give the pizza itself a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
But like, I have way more history than you do. Not only with this specific Gino's East, but I
see you trying to take my Chicago card. I can smell it.
Give me this damn card, man. But I just have way more Chicago history just being in Chicago more than I moved away from Chicago when I was 26 and lived there my entire life.
Yeah.
So like,
I had maybe 7 years in Chicago, broken up in 2 shifts, and the first 3 years of that, I was a baby.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I've had better pizza at that Gino's East before. Yes. And I think a big reason was because, like, when you get the actual deep dish pizza, they are making that all from scratch right then and there.
Yeah.
For the most part. Versus the lunch special, I feel fairly confident in saying portions of it were pre-made, especially my cheese. Like they probably just got that ready to fucking go.
Yeah.
So I'm also judging it against all the other Chicago pizzas that I know and love and taste and things like that. Because like when I go back home to Chicago, like I would never go to Gino's, never.
Damn.
I would never. I truly would not.
Yeah.
Lou Malnati's is probably the one I go to the most. That's a chain, but I also go to more local joints.
When I had Lou's in, let's say 2018, probably around there.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
I preferred this.
It's all relative.
Of course.
Right. You know, but I also like would generally not even go to Lou's. I would go to some of my local joints.
Yeah,
so like it's different for me. So that's why mine was a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. And I'm also going to say this. It's a generous 10 that I'm giving it. Like,
that's fair.
And it's more to make a point of like, I am endorsing like, hey, if you're in LA and you want deep dish, like you're going to be happy here.
Go get it. I've had like 8, 9, like out of 10 experiences at this specific Gino's East with the pizza before as well.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. What about your cheese? Oh, wait, you said 7 out of 10. 7
out of 10 is what I would probably give.
Okay.
That 7, about 7 out of 10.
Okay. All right. The other bits of food we got the charred Brussels sprouts. Had panko, bacon bits, some oil,
some garlic, I think.
Charred so perfectly. This was great.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about Brussels sprouts, man. Brussels sprouts have had the best BBL out of any food.
They've glown
from
up
our childhood of any fucking vegetable food
for about 10 years now. Brussels sprouts have just been on a high I'm just like, man, they hit time after time.
After decades of them joints just being boiled in water, somebody was like, we can do better than this. And now and Brussels sprouts be fucking hitting.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they can be like the best thing on a menu at certain restaurants. Like
I've specifically with restaurant Brussels sprouts, I'm like never disappointed.
I'm just like, what crack are y'all putting? It's the cocaine they gave us with a little bit of heroin that they put in the Brussels sprouts. They were good. They're always good.
I went 7.5 out of 10 on the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, the Brussels sprouts were about a 7.5 for me as well. Yeah,
fantastic. I will get them next time.
Yeah.
And especially with how heavy everything else is, it's nice to get
felt nice to have
we
that
got
vegetable.
Some greens, you know? They had homemade chips that came with the lunch special. You get a side and it's like Kettle chips. They're seasoned.
Yeah.
And they had a special Giardiniera Ranch. Now, I love Giardiniera.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, Giardiniera is, you kind of only really find it in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's like a pepper blend of veggies. I have a bottle here with me of Marconi brand. This is what Portillo's uses.
Yep.
It's like a hot thing. Let's see. It's vegetable oil, hot peppers, carrots, cauliflower, celery, gherkins, spices, vinegar, salt, calcium chloride, sodium benzoate, and sodium bisulfite. I love sodium bisulfite.
I love sodium.
It's my favorite
chloride,
bisulfite.
whatever it is.
It's a very delicious blend of peppers that you put in Italian beef sandwiches typically.
Mm-hmm.
And I love me Giardiniera. I have a hat that just says Giardiniera.
I love it. I love it. It's a Chicago staple, you know?
Yeah.
It's a Chicago staple for sure.
And this ranch, it was like a yellowy, I'm not a big ranch guy.
Mm-hmm.
I barely tasted the ranch. All I got was the kick of the Giardiniera. This was one of the better condiments
That's dope.
I've had in
I did not
recent memory.
indulge. I did not indulge in this one. No. So because you
definitely
know,
had a kick.
Yeah. I try to stay away from things with kicks if I can help it. But the chips were good.
I went 9 out of 10 on the chips and a 9.5 on the ranch.
Yeah.
This was a delicious little sauce. Again, if you're fine with some heat.
Yeah. The chips, I thought the chips were a solid 7.
Yeah.
I'm always going to prefer a flavored chip over a plain chip, but that's personal. As far as a plain chip goes, I'll probably give it like a 7.5, 7.5, 8, probably somewhere in that range. It wasn't plain as far as the taste because it did have that little bit of seasoning.
Yeah.
It was fresh. It tasted fresh, but not like
It was like some cracked pepper on it as part of it. But it wasn't a peppery chip. It just had a little bit.
It just had the right amount. It wasn't like I said, it wasn't like In-N-Out fresh where their fries are fresh and they're nasty because of it. But like this had a fresh taste that was like still made with care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would probably go like 8. It was one of the better like homemade in-house chips that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? Can I be like deeply vulnerable with you right now?
Please do. I got my Chicago card clippers ready to chop it. Okay.
The fact that I'm scoring everything so much higher than you, I'm like, oh no, I'm dashing my credibility because these things where I'm like 9, 10, you're like, you thought that's only a...
No, not at all.
I'm like, I have no credibility, by the way. Like
You do.
I have no refined palate whatsoever.
Like.
I do know what I like.
Yeah. That's important.
But I feel like I woke up today and I was like, I was ready to score Gino's like a 5 out of 10. Yeah. I was just like, Gino's is just going to be okay.
Yeah.
Deep dish is nasty.
Yeah.
And I went in and I just loved the vibes.
Yeah.
I loved the feeling. I loved the food. And I think I'm overcorrecting.
I don't think so. Here's what I think, because I have noticed that. I don't think you're overcorrecting. I don't think you are overhyping or overrating anything. I think that for an experience of a place that you don't go to often, I think you are rating it.
I will now.
I think you are rating it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, I think from my experience, being there a few times, I have
other Gino's visits
I have other Gino's visits to compare it to. And no restaurant on the planet is going to hit this mark exactly the same every time, all the time, right?
Yeah.
But
there was also something to the fact that it did taste like Chicago to me.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I don't get that nostalgia itch scratched as often as you do.
Right.
So I think it was a more satisfying scratch.
And also, that not only is that true, you don't get that itch scratched as often as I do, but your itch is probably not as like deep as my itch is because like I have more to go off of to like
I'm gonna
think
steal
about
your Chicago card because I need it.
Because like but you have like you've been to Chicago a lot and like you're a Chicagoan. But like I go back more often than you say you have, and
look,
so like
I get it. You're more of a Chicagoan than
you know
me.
what I'm saying. I've murdered a couple of people.
I'm the Chili's of Chicagoans. You're like the Outback Steakhouse.
I'm the Outback Steakhouse. You know what I'm saying. I'm a dirty politician.
Like I shook your hand when we got up, and when I looked down, there was a dollar bill folded up in it.
Man.
I was like, wow, that was slick. I didn't even
Chicago
notice.
handshake, baby.
We'll talk about the owner.
Yeah.
I mentioned it as a detraction in the opening, but like sarcastically.
Mm-hmm.
This guy loves Chicagoans.
Loves it.
Loves the opportunity to talk Chicago with people, loves the opportunity to get to know customers. And I think that's great. I loved his pride that he seemed to have in the place. When you were in the restroom, I got up, took some pictures and stuff. And he was straight up just like, my partner who I opened this with used to work at, I think he said the Tribune or a radio station or something in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he had all this sports memorabilia that was like all over his office and we had nowhere to put it. And it was like, you know what? Yeah, this restaurant would be the perfect spot. And we had this display case. And, it was like he was giving me the MTV Cribs tour of Gino's East.
That's awesome.
And, he even like pointed to the kitchen. He's like, this is where the magic happens. Can't have Cribs without that line happening. Yeah, he loved it, and that energy was infectious. Yeah, and I'm big on a passionate owner or passionate manager of a restaurant. Mm-hmm. It really elevates an experience for me. Yeah, when like they care, it's great.
It's great, and it's good because you want them to care, and you can tell when it's not put on. Yeah, because he was working, like he was at a table doing like owner work probably, but like he was so happy to like be taken away from that work to show pride not only in his restaurant but in Chicago too, which like the owner, and I've talked to them many times, it's always a 10 out of 10 experience for me because like it is, I mean, Chicagoans love talking about Chicago more than anybody on the planet. And and I've talked to him many times, even though like he never remembers, which is fine. Like he sees a lot of people. But today we were talking and like the subject of the elementary school that I went to came up, and he knew people who went to that school. Like he was older than I am. So before I did, but like that is so rare for me. Yeah. To hear people say, oh, yeah, I know Bret Hart Elementary. Like, and I know somebody who went there. Yeah. So, like, that also makes me feel like at home and more like at ease. And, like, he's just really cool, like, not put on, pride in his city, pride in what he's doing here. Yeah. He felt super authentic to himself. Yeah. It was really great. It reminded me of, like, the white suburban dads you talk to all the time. Yeah. Even if he's from like the actual city of Chicago, which he is, and he said he was.
Everyone has a friend who this is their dad at a sleepover.
100%.
You show up to the sleepover and he's just like, hey,
Yeah, how you doing? And like, he's just cool. Just cool people, even kill energy and prideful. And like, that you'll never miss me with that. Yeah. Yeah. So that made the whole service experience a 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah.
No, I loved it. And then the last food item I want to talk about in the good, that skillet brownie.
Oh, yeah. It was good.
It comes in like the same kind of pan that they bake the deep dish in. Yeah. And the texture of the brownie, like...
Which is a cast iron
skillet. Yeah. And it's so like gooey, perfect. You and I had talked. I love chocolate-based desserts. I also love like fruit pies and stuff. Like I'm not like only a chocolate dessert guy, but I do love a brownie. I love a brownie so much. You said you're more of like a vanilla dessert.
I am, but
are you an ice cream?
I love ice cream
kind of guy.
One of my favorite desserts ever is like the cookie ice cream, like when they make the cookie in the skillet and put the ice cream and caramel and chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Which
like
is exactly what we had. Yeah, kind of like that. Which is what we had with brownie.
Yeah.
Today. It was good.
It wasn't just good. It was excellent.
Yeah. I was not going to have any because I was full by the time the dessert came out. Yeah. And I was like, I'll have like a bite, Yeah. And I ended up having like 6 or 7 bites because it was pretty great.
It was, my God.
Yeah, it was great.
I went 9.5 out of 10. And this one I will defend. The others may have been inflated. This one is like a true 9.5 out of 10. Yeah. It had the perfect texture of like melty, gooey chocolate on bottom. The ice cream, good juxtaposition with the heat of the brownie. Just everything about it. Smell was great.
Oh, it was great.
I could tell that it was very rich and like real chocolate as opposed to like, it didn't feel like it had filler.
It wasn't
Like,
no Duncan Hines.
Leavening? Is that,
I
is
see
that,
what you, yeah,
is that what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I should know food terms. I've been doing
That's
this a while, but I don't know.
That's all right.
But
we
like
eating.
You have some desserts where it's just like, oh, this cake is like 40% not anything, 40% literal space.
Yeah.
40% volume of nothing.
Yeah. And that's not this.
That's not this. This was every bite of it just rich, satisfying chocolate. 9.5 out of 10.
I would probably give it, and this is again not a personal thing, I would give it like an 8.5 because with those type of like desserts, the in skillet with the ice cream and all that, I need caramel. I need a caramel sauce too. Like if they would have had the caramel sauce on there for me, it would have kicked it up one more point to almost a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. But without the caramel, because we talked about this, I'm not the biggest chocolate eater. And even though this was very great, that caramel sweetness would have like been just enough for me.
I do agree. Yeah.
Like to like get it over the hump.
I mean, one of the best chocolate things you can get is there's like a brownie. I want to say they serve it in like a cup that has like whipped cream and caramel at Ghirardelli.
Oh yeah, so good.
And like that's like the perfect caramel and chocolate combo.
Yeah,
it's so good.
So good.
That's everything I have in the good. That's service. That's atmosphere. Yeah. That's a lot of the food. I do have a couple things to talk about in other sections, but really not much. This was an excellent meal. I am going to go 2 thumbs up on the food.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
I'm going to go 1 thumb up on the service.
Okay. Out of 2 thumbs?
Out of 2, yeah.
Because some people have 3.
Some people have a third thumb.
Some people have
we don't discriminate, but I have 2. And then decor and atmosphere, I'm going to go 2 thumbs up.
I'm going to go 2 thumbs on the service. The owner always makes it a little higher for me. And even like our server was very attentive. She was nice.
Yeah.
She was appreciative. I always love when you can authentically tell somebody's happy to also get a thank you. And I'm like, oh, thank you, type thing, which I think is really nice.
And I love a server who has recommendations.
Yeah,
a server with opinions goes so far.
Yeah, and
because I trust them.
Yeah,
like if someone's just like, oh, well, what do you like? Well, I was like, okay, well, now you're not recommending anything.
And can I tell you, for a place like that too, Gino's, that is a place that is well known and you're going to get people from the city it came from.
Yeah.
To have the confidence to give suggestions in that type of a setting that means like it's authentic.
Yeah.
Because like, if I'm a Chicagoan coming to Gino's and you give me a suggestion, 1, I don't need it. But 2, if you do give it to me and it's not good, I'm going to remember that shit way more than I would if it was just like, a restaurant I had never been to or that wasn't popular in that way. So I give her kudos for that as well, for having opinions and like they're being knowledgeable and like spot on as well. Decor, always a 2 thumbs for me.
Yeah.
Today, I mean, it's weird because like in terms of Chicago food, it's always 2 thumbs for me.
Yeah.
If I was to like say there was 1 thumb that I would give, one less thumb to, it would be that. But it was only because
that they've done better for you.
I know they've done better for me, and we'll talk about this later. The Italian beef was changed.
All right. We're gonna move into everything that was not good.
This is not so good. I'm not quite sure about it. Could have done without it. The stuff that brings down the mood. This is just not very good.
So this is going to be a very short segment for me. I don't have really anything in not good, but I am going to make 1 point to say, I wish I could have drawn on the walls. There's that one authentic touch that would connect it to the Gino's East in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I think it would be fun to just, you walk in, it's covered in signatures or like Polaroids of people or like a little artwork or like whatever. Something like that, I think, gives a place so much more flavor to its decor and makes it, maybe in their case, it would cover up some of like, it would distract from the sports memorabilia or something if that were the case. But I would like something like that.
That would be fun.
I love a macaroni grill where I can go right on the table.
Yeah.
Give me that, Gino's. Let me play hangman on your wall.
That would be fun. It doesn't bother me as much because, like,
I'm reaching here.
Yeah. But I do wonder, but it would be fun. I took my partner to Chicago recently and was at Gino's, but we got to draw on stuff. And it was just fun because, you just draw your name and it makes it's very Chicago. I do wonder, would it turn LA people off? Which that is a thing. I'm kind of like,
screw them,
I mean, very true, screw them. But Gino's has tried to expand out here many times
and fallen on
his face. So there is a part where I'm wondering if that is some of the thinking is this is Chicago. We're going to have Chicago, blah, blah, blah. But there are certain parts that we have to accommodate to the LA crowd in some shape, form, or fashion. Well, and I wonder if that's one of them.
Well, and there is also the point of the original Gino's just kind of was a pushover on the graffiti thing. They didn't open with the intent of being vandalized. Right. People were doing it, and eventually they were like, all right, fine. There's so much graffiti here. Yeah. Instead of painting over it, here's a Sharpie.
Yeah.
They gave up.
Yeah.
It was a submission.
And LA already has an issue with graffiti and all those type of things that you might associate around that realm, that I wonder if they think, they may be wrong, but I wonder if they think if we allow this, would that deter people from wanting to be inside the restaurant who don't know that that's a Chicago thing?
I think if it was, again, we went back to this with a Yelp review, right? Communication.
Okay, yeah.
If the waiters, hey, here's your table, here's a Sharpie, feel free to sign your name on the wall.
Yeah.
Now you know it's part of the gimmick.
Yeah.
As opposed to just you see it and it's like, what?
And maybe they have a couple pictures up of the original Gino's that shows this is how it is in Chicago. We're the only deep dish place in Chicago that people can draw on the walls and stuff. You want the full Chicago experience, here it is. You're right. Communication, I think, would help.
You can definitely offset any unease someone might feel of is this place dirty or trashy or whatever. Yeah, but again, this isn't a strong dislike. Course, this is just, I didn't want to talk about nothing in the not good. I will say, having anticipated not liking deep dish, I did just write in quotes on my teleprompter under not good, hot gazpacho, as though that's how I was going to refer to deep dish pizza.
That's so funny.
But I end up not feeling that way.
There you go.
I mean, in a way, it still kind of is that. It is very much a thicker tomato soup inside of a crust.
Nah, it's pizza. It's pizza. Where your Chicago card at, man?
This was very much pizza.
Clip your Chicago card real quick.
You'll never get to the vault. You'll never know the code is just 0000. Same as my PS2.
See, if you was really from Chicago, it would be in 1817 when the Chicago fire happened. I don't even know if that's the real year.
All right, take the card. I've got nothing else in not good.
I'll put some just to have something.
Yeah,
This is also stretching. I think if there are no Chicago sports on, or no LA sports on that are of significance, they should be playing old school Chicago sports on the TVs.
I was gonna say just have Ferris Bueller on repeat,
or movies. Yeah. Something they should have a couple TVs that are playing Chicago based things.
Yeah. The Bears in the Super Bowl, the Cubs in the World Series.
Something that would. So it's not necessarily that it's not good that they don't do that, but that would be a nice touch.
Just all episodes of The Last Dance on loop.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
What a documentary.
You should have Rob Blagojevich's arrest.
Yeah.
The newscast we got. There's the governor in Chicago, one of our many governors who's been arrested.
Yeah.
And sent to jail.
I just want, just give me Harry Carey clips over and over and over. I'll take that.
Man, one of my favorite Harry Carey clips is the Cubs were not good, but we were losing. And somebody hit a routine fly ball to center field, the other team. And Harry Carey, it's going to be a can of corn. We're going out of the seventh inning, blah, blah, blah. And he's just basically gearing up to go to commercial because it is truly a routine fly ball. And the center fielder drops it. And so he's going, it's going to be a routine ground on WJ. God damn it. Which to like a fucking, 8-9-year-old child was just so funny to hear him curse on live television. Out of anger because he tried.
But out of just come on, guys.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, man.
That's funny.
So fucking funny. I love it.
Amazing. All right. That's all the not good. We're going to talk about the things that were just there.
This is a weird one. I'm not quite sure what to say about it. Yeah. This is for the stuff that is just there.
As you mentioned, they had a bar. We didn't experience it, so it was just there. Good decor. I mean, clean looking bar. I don't know.
Yeah.
They had a tap. I don't drink, but I know that thing back there was called a tap. So,
They did have beers on draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing in the just there was the Italian beef sandwich. And look, I adore Italian beef sandwiches. Portillo's Italian beef is a 10 out of 10 sandwich for me.
Yeah.
I love it. I could eat multiple of them in a day, in a sitting, in whatever. They're that good to me.
Yeah.
I was excited when I saw that Gino's had an Italian. Have you had their Italian beef before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said because you feel like it's changed, right?
Yeah, I know it has.
This was Buena Beef, which is a brand of beef, which, by the way, Buena Beef, the company that bought the original Gino's location that then sold it back to them.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at their website and they call themselves Buena Beef, the original Chicago beef.
Not true.
They are not even close to that conversation of being the original, but you can't stop them from trademarking it. So it's so shame on you, Buena Beef.
Yeah, not true.
Not true.
Hey, Buena Beef, fuck off.
Bringing it full circle. And then it had Giardiniera on it, which love it. Great choice.
Mm-hmm.
This was very salty.
Okay.
I thought. One of my favorite Chicago foods. The bun was great, but it was just too salty. Didn't come wet or dipped. So you had
came dry.
Came dry, and then you have
that was
the au jus
that was by
sauce
design.
on the side.
Yeah.
Because if you get it to go, usually they'll dip it, wrap it, and then it's
And that was a waitress recommendation to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I may have preferred it to be wet.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been a better move, which just because I'm uncomfortable saying wet so much, if you want to look into that camera and tell people what a wet Italian beef is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what a wet Italian beef is. So you go to 79th and...
It's basically just, so you can get the Italian beef 3 different ways. You can get it dry, which is just the meat and the bread with the toppings. And that's it. You can get the au jus on the side, which is the sauce. You can get it dipped, where they make the sandwich and they dip it into the au jus sauce. You can still probably get it on the side as well, but it's just kind of dipped, so it gives the flavor a little wetness to it.
Soaks into the bread.
Yes, or you can get that joint wet, where that motherfucker is wet. It is dripping from the au jus sauce all throughout the Italian beef, which is my preferred way to have an Italian beef. I could even tell once the owner knew, one of us and both of us was from Chicago, he came over and he specifically told us the ingredients of the Italian beef because he knows. Yeah. He told us it was the Bueno beef, which Chicagoans are hit or miss about. I'm on the miss side with the Bueno beef.
He told us the Giardiniera was from a certain...
He told us the Giardiniera was not, and then also the bread was not the authentic... Italian beef bread that we normally get. Yeah. And also, this is personal. I'm more of a sweet pepper over Giardiniera pepper. Gotcha. But that's just personal. But also wet. So needing to dip it in, it was dry. So all of those things together made the Italian beef just kind of this is not a bad sandwich, but this ain't nowhere near as good as this sandwich can be.
I went 5.8.
Interesting. I probably would go a solid 5.
Yeah.
Solid 5 out of 10.
I really wanted this to be better. I was so excited. And by the way, I had the advantage of getting it the way I like it.
Yeah.
Of the Giardiniera
on it. Yeah. You did say we ordered a lot. So, and you did say I'm going to take this home. So she suggested to have it dry with the au jus on the side. I probably still would have suggested to get it wet. So
I now realize that would have been the move.
Yeah, that I'm sure took off some points.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was not the well-known original bread. That it was still a French roll, but like, you know, that's the beautiful thing about like the Chicago hot dog or an Italian beef or the Vienna sausage.
The Portillo's beef in particular has the best bread.
It's because it's the original
and
bread that we're used
soaks
to in Chicago.
So perfectly. It's soft.
If you have an ingredient that is a specific brand that works for that food, you go get that brand.
Yes.
You don't stray from it.
Yeah.
My grandma will skip 14 grocery stores to go to the one that she wants to go to get the brands that she likes.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do, right? And like that's what makes Chicago so unique is like
the sourcing.
You can make a Chicago hot dog, but it's not a real Chicago hot dog if you don't have the actual Chicago hot dog inside of it, right? And it's like that with a few things. So for me, the beef is hit or miss, you know, but I can understand the beef, but the bread has to be the exact bread. And if it's not, it will change the taste of the Italian beef.
It's going to suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, again, this wasn't bad, but it was
Still
middling,
good.
And I wanted it to be more than middling.
Let me tell you something. A bunch of beef and a French roll is still good no matter how you bring it.
Right. But when I've been to the mountaintop.
When you've been to the mountaintop.
Base camp isn't going to cut it.
Exactly. So that's how I feel about it. It's a solid 5 out of 10.
Yeah. Nothing else to me was even just there. Most of this experience was good. Yeah. I really enjoyed this lunch.
It was great. It was a good lunch, man.
We're going to score our visit. We're going to put it to the Chili's test. But before we can do that, Jacquis, this is your first time on the Fine Dining podcast. I've been to over 100 restaurants. I am very calibrated to this scale.
Mm-hmm.
With Chili's being perfect 5, I know what my 0 and 10 are personally in my real life.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know the same for you. So we are going to head into this week's Calibration Station.
Calibration Station, comparing this meal to the best of the worst. Calibration Station, chugga, 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 choo, choo.
All right, Jacquis.
Yeah.
I want to know what your 0 out of 10, the worst dining experience you've ever had at a restaurant is, and I want to hear your 10 out of 10. You can pick whichever order you want, but we got to calibrate that scale. So the floor is yours, whichever one you want to start with.
Okay. My worst dining experience was also in Chicago. It was a place called Bob Evans.
I've heard of Bob Evans.
Place. Yes,
they're still around.
Are they? Yeah. The one the specific one is no longer around, but this was in high school, actually. Mm-hmm. So me and my 2 homies, Vince and Matt, we all went to Bob Evans' like breakfast joint.
Yeah.
Our waiter was very mean to us.
What brand of mean are we talking?
We were 17 years old, so she was I'm an adult serving these fucking teenagers mean.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, again, I probably can understand it a little bit more at the age I'm in now, because I'm sure we were annoying. But the food just like took forever.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have we had to get dropped off there. So like already that experience is just like, you know, we got to get dropped off here. When we're ready to go, we got to call like somebody to come get us. The food is taking forever. Our waitress is not like super nice to us. The food was just kind of like iffy. It wasn't, I remember like not enjoying the food because we had a friend that worked at Bob Evans. So we were hoping that we would go and
hook you up,
and she would hook us up, but we didn't get hooked up. So already it wasn't a fun time. What kickstarted it into the
badosphere,
the bad experience is when it came time for the check, we all 3 pulled our money together and we literally only had enough to pay the check. That's it. We had like maybe 6 cents more to pay the check. So we didn't have enough for tip, which we felt bad. We felt bad about that because, you know, even then we knew the tip. And so we paid at account. The waiter didn't come at all. Like she just dropped the check off and blah, blah, blah. We never saw her again until. But on a napkin, we wrote, "I'm sorry, we didn't have any money," and a smiley face. Apologies. What we meant was we didn't have any money for tip. However, she saw that
Did she think you were dine-and-dash?
We dine-and-dashed. So we were outside kind of by a tree waiting for Vince's mom to come pick us up. We were out there for like 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, we hear her bust outside. Where the fuck are y'all at? Like, she was screaming. And we all three of us, luckily she didn't see where we were at, but when we heard, we all three hid behind this tree and like did not come out. And she was, yo, motherfuckers, blah, 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 blah. We were so scared. And then Vince's mom finally came and we got in the car. He was like, go, go, go.
By the way, the smiley face is such a kicker.
It's such a kicker. Which, again, if I would see that today, I would also think these motherfuckers didn't pay.
Yeah.
So I take solace in the fact that once she actually went in and saw the situation and found out we did pay, and it just wasn't
but still,
a tip.
She didn't get tipped.
Sure, she didn't get tipped, but like, if I'm assuming if somebody dines and dash, that comes out of the waitress.
Yeah.
So like, she had extra reason to be upset. But we just not only had like a pretty mediocre to bad experience, we ended that experience so afraid. I never went back to that Bob Evans.
That's
it's no longer
funny.
there anymore. But that is probably the worst dining experience I ever had. That was a full 0.
Valid.
Yeah.
And you're 10.
My 10 is Chef Mickey's at Walt Disney World Contemporary Resort.
Okay.
It's a buffet. This was my first ever Disney World trip. I'm a true Disney Parks fan now. Some people may call that a Disney adult. I just love theme parks, and Disney parks are top tier for me.
Your Mickey ears are showing.
Yeah, they are. We were going for breakfast, so it's breakfast buffet, brunch, whatever. And the characters come and walk around, and like you meet the character, they come right to your table. You can take pictures with them all. It's like super fun and everything like that. It was just me and my girlfriend at the time who were there. So we were a table of 2, and our waitress, Ruth Ann. I'm 21, so this is 17 years ago. I'll never forget Ruth Ann. Our waitress, Ruth Ann. So not only am I'm breakfast is my favorite food.
Hell yeah.
So like,
I say it's the best cuisine.
It's the best fucking cuisine. So the Mickey waffles on point, the food on point. So the breakfast is very good, already top tier. And then like, this is my first time at Disney. So seeing Mickey Mouse walk around and Minnie Mouse and Chip and Dale and Donald, Duck, Goofy, Pluto, all of them. That's also just like super fun. I'm just like, you're just in it. You're immersed. It's also at the Contemporary Resort. So you can see the monorail go past. You see the Cinderella's castle, like right outside the window. Like you're just immersed in it. And Ruth Ann was the best every time, no matter where she was in the restaurant. She was like a 60-plus-year-old waitress, super nice. She loved that we were there together as a couple, my first time there. She felt like a warm auntie or grandma.
Yeah.
And like every time, no matter where she was, when a character came to our table, she was right there. Let me get y'all pictures so we can have pictures together and not have to like ask or like take each other's individual pictures or selfies. Because in 2008, selfies weren't as big of a thing. But like
on your flip phone, on your
flip
Nokia
phones, right? So we had our like, point and shoots. She was right there, ready to take our pictures. We never had to look for her. But she was still serving everybody else. She was so nice to us. It was the first like real sit down restaurant we had gone to on that trip. So it was my true first experience of the Disney hospitality experience.
Amazing.
I'll never forget it. I go to Chef Mickey's or that version of like the type of restaurant at any Disney park. At this point, I only have one more to go to in the world, which is Hong Kong. And like, it's all because of Ruth Ann and that first experience. Like,
amazing.
Top 10.
All right. Well, somewhere between Ruth Ann, Goofy, and Pluto and a literal getaway vehicle from a fake dine-and-dash scenario lies today's lunch at Gino's East of Chicago. Let's see how it fares against the perfect middle of all of that, Chili's, as we put it, to the Chili's test.
It's time to set scale. Will it pass or will it fail? Is it the worst? Is it the best? Let's put it to the Chili's test.
So, my overall experience of the restaurant, is top tier. It's I love Gino's East. Half the reason I love it is because it is a taste of home.
Yeah.
So like knowing that, and I don't know if I should separate this from my like scoring of it, because bias is a part of it, but my bias actually probably lessens my score because like at home, I would probably not go to Gino's East and I've also been to this one and have had like, varying experiences, all of them high. But because of the Italian beef, because the pizza, while it was very good, I've had fresher, in my opinion. Because of those couple of things only, I will rate this a 7.43.
Very respectable. It's on the high end of good, almost great.
Yeah.
Almost great.
I've had great at that Gino's East.
Yeah.
But when I put everything, my experiences, my bias, everything together and base it off of that, I got to put it right in the 7.43 range.
So for me, I had great today, I thought.
Yeah.
I would say I almost had excellent. I'm almost at that cusp of like, really high tier restaurants. The thing holding it back was service. And I mean that twofold. One, there is just like a step above level of service, that Ruth Ann level where it's like almost like a curated meal with an expert. We didn't have that here, but like the owner also brought up the service score. And I really did like our server. There were just a few moments where I was looking up and I wasn't getting just like a visual check-in or like something like that. And I may have wanted like, I wanted a drink refill and there wasn't really a moment to ask because I just didn't see her enough. It's not the biggest crime, but it did, I think, prevent this from getting to that next level. The food, other than the Italian beef, all across the board impressed me. Giardiniera Ranch is a revelation with these amazing kettle chips, with an amazing brownie, with great Brussels sprouts, with a pizza that I scored a 10 out of 10 on.
Yeah.
There's just a lot working for Gino's East of Chicago. And I say that as someone who walked in today expecting to call this place overrated and not that great. Genuinely, that was my thought. I was ready to this is going to be my episode where I stick it to deep dish. Didn't happen because Gino's East, they carried their weight.
Yeah.
They carried my weight. They gave me a piggyback ride. So I'm more than a full point higher than you. I gave Gino's East of Chicago an 8.47.
A full point.
Now, when you put my score together with your score, that's going to be its destiny on the tchotchke of mediocrity.
Snap. Okay, where we at?
Gino's East goes up on the tchotchke at a 7.95.
Okay. Which is right under Gyukaku.
It's a literal perfect tie with Gyukaku.
And just under Portillo's.
Just under Portillo's.
We got the Chicago joints pretty much. Now, I wonder what I would have had to give it to put it at Portillo's, which is at an 8.04.
Yeah, so you'd have had to give it 0.18 more. You would have had to give it a 7.61 to tie Portillo's.
Damn. Sorry, Gino's.
But I mean,
I do love Portillo's more.
I was going to say, that said, if you're asking me, would you rather go to Gino's East or Portillo's?
Go to Portillo's.
I'm going to Portillo's. So to me, it's right there.
Listen, that's good, man. That is what's better than Gino's on this list. We got Portillo's. We have
Rudy's Barbecue.
Never been there. Gus's, very debatable.
Ooh, interesting.
Rainforest Cafe, atmosphere is great. Food, who knows?
Stinking Rose.
I've only been there once, but I did like it. It was good.
Casa Bonita.
Yeah.
Mastro's and Dan's Hamburgers.
So surprising to me. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's surprising to you?
Yeah, that's surprising.
You don't love Mastro's?
I don't remember it being the best restaurant of all time, which according to this,
no, this is not,
is the best of this list.
This is the ones I've done for the show. I've been to many better restaurants. But I will say of Mastro's, I went to the Ocean Club in Newport Beach. I think the Beverly Hills one is not great.
Okay. There used to be one in Burbank that I've been to.
Interesting.
And but anyway, I'm happy with that. Happy with that. I think on a better day, we would have gotten that over to 8.
That mid-8s.
Yeah, we would have gotten that over in 8, but that feels good. I'm when I see what you got ranked lower, I'm happy with that as a Chicagoan.
So, Gino's East of Chicago, officially, definitively better than Chili's.
Better than the Chili's, objectively good.
Okay, Jacquis, that is the fate of Gino's East. I need to go somewhere next time. And I got to put another place up against Chili's. I'm going to reach into the You Must Bowl and pull out.
Let's do it.
Let's see where I'm going next time. All right. Next week on the Fine Dining Podcast, I will be going to
Firehouse Subs.
Boom.
All right.
I can't wait till you go there.
I can't wait till I go there specifically.
That place, I've heard so many great things about.
I don't know about great things, but I've heard things about it.
When you go to that place, my gosh.
I will be there.
My gosh.
Jacquis, thanks so much for coming on. It was a delight.
Appreciate you, man.
Catching up with you, dining, talking Gino's East, talking Chicago.
Hell yeah.
I've done episodes where I've kind of scratched that Texas itch before. I've not done one that was super Chicago heavy before. So this was great for me.
This was great for me. Listen, man, I'll talk food all day, but you get me in here to talk any Chicago thing, I'm here any day of the week.
Hell yeah. If I could trouble you to both tell people where they can find you on social media and just let me keep my Chicago card, man. I need it. I need it.
Let me give it back to you. Here you go.
Thank you so
shit.
much.
Take your shit.
Look, it's not the most earned.
It's all right.
But
it's all right.
I was born there, man.
It's okay. You can have it. Find me where I'm going to be cutting Michael's Chicago card on my Instagram reel. At Jacquis Neal on everything. Also, if you are a fan of Dropout TV, I have a new show that I'm hosting on that platform called Crowd Control, which will be coming out sometime in September of 2025. So check that out. And then my show, Comedian Clash, always show upcoming, and we'll have a few for the next few months.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you can follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Fine Dining Podcast or Blue Sky, finediningpodcast.bsky.social. Come join my Discord, join the conversation, talk about episodes. You can tell me I don't deserve my Chicago card. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll see it. I'll cry to it. It's all good. And if you want an additional episode every single month, I cover a restaurant that isn't on the proper run of the show every single last day of the month.
There you go.
And you can get full Yelp from Stranger segments. And occasionally I'll do little impromptu reviews. Like I just reviewed Burger King's How to Train Your Dragon special meal or whatever. It was fine. Yeah. The bread color was orange. That's cool.
Burger King up here, 4.29.
Yeah. That
feels right.
That's right. If there's one place we've nailed, it's that. Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's another one in the books. I'll see you next week as I go to
Firehouse Subs.
Thanks for watching.
Have a fine day.
Well, there's another one in the books. We judge the service up to the cooks. And while we may have gotten a couple of dirty looks, no, the journey can never stop. Now from the bottom down to the top, we got a new MO and everything's unlocked. And that's 'cause Chili's to the letter to the T is the perfect cornerstone of mediocrity. So now we got a brand new kind of test. That's the words we gotta know, 'cause we sure ain't knowing yet. Triple dipper got the ribs, a main course, perfect little in the middle. It's good, now it's got to be the lock for what we use when we put things up on the charge. Mediocrity. So there's another one in the books. Yeah, there's another one in the books, and we will see you next week, baby.